Listen, everybody wants to grow faster, so they start posting on Instagram, they dabble on TikTok, they try Facebook ads, they launch a newsletter, and then they start a freaking podcast. All the while, they're stuck wondering why their business is stuck. Let me save you years of wasted motion. Just stop. You don't need to do everything. You need to go deep on one thing that works. And that's why most people stay broke. They confuse being busy with being in business. Look, I've made over 7 figures online in my business. My very first digital product did a little over 900K, and everybody that I've came across that is struggling to build their business online, they all suffer from the same thing. And it's split focus. And it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break this down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to where you can just focus, then you are proving my point on why you are struggling right now in your business. So look, people only have 100 points of energy to spend on all these various tasks throughout a week. And most people are spending their energy, like here, they have like 20 points spent on YouTube. They'll have 10 points spent on TikTok. They'll have 10 points spent on Instagram. They'll have 10 points spent on trying to build an email letter. They'll have 2 points spent on building a good product. They'll have 5 points over here on trying to network or something like that. And then they'll try to learn. And then actually, now that I'm saying this about learning, let's just go ahead and erase all this. Because what most people really do is this. They'll have like 70 points spent on learning when they're really just procrastinating, when they could be spending that time on actually being productive. And then over here, they'll be spending like 5 points on YouTube, 5 points on Instagram, 5 points on TikTok, 5 points on building a newsletter, 5 points on trying to network, and then like 5 points, if that, on their product. And then they wonder why stuff is so difficult for them and why nothing seems to work. Well, it's because majority of the time, all of their focus are spent on something that really doesn't matter. And then everything else is spread so thin, and nothing ever truly gets the momentum that it needs to break through. And then people end up being average at everything instead of extraordinarily dangerous at one thing. And most people don't even become average at many things. They become subpar to average at best. And average doesn't get you paid. So look, if we know that you only have 100 points of energy and 100 points of focus each week, well, just to get to a level of kind of good, you have to put in at least 50 points on that one thing just to become kind of okay at it. So if someone's putting 10 points in on YouTube, okay, they can't get past the 10-point mark. If somebody's putting in 20 points on Instagram, okay, they can't get past the 20-point mark. If somebody's putting in 30 points on TikTok, well, they can't get past the 30-point mark. And you don't need all this stuff to succeed. You don't need an Instagram and a TikTok and a Threads and a Twitter and a newsletter and a podcast and a brand deal to be successful. You need depth and you need mastery. You need to be so good in one lane that nobody can touch you. And like I said, just to get here to the kind of good mark, it takes 50 points to get there. So you're gonna lose 10 times out of 10 to the people that are putting in 70 points. Like, that's why you can't win, let alone you're going to get crushed by those people that are putting in 100 points at that one thing. They have so much depth, nothing surface level. And I'm not just telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know because I did this. I bought into that lie that I have to be omnipresent and I have to be everywhere. So guess what I was doing? I had my 100 points, I was splitting it everywhere. Over here, I was building an Instagram. Then I was building a TikTok. Then I was running ads. And I was building an email list, doing email marketing. Then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start up a YouTube channel. And then, oh yeah, I'm going to have my podcast, which was a complete waste of freaking time. I was everywhere. And then I was wondering why my business was only going this way and not this way. It was because I was spreading my energy too thin. I couldn't get good at anything. And then the most important thing that nobody is really focused on out here, you still have to think about a good product to offer to the marketplace. Because good products pretty much sell themselves once people hear about how good that they are. People go and they talk about the stuff for you. All right, like I go to Trader Joe's pretty much once a week just to get my snacks, but I didn't have to get convinced to get their movie theater popcorn. My homegirl Chelsea was like, hey, you like popcorn? Try this Trader Joe's movie theater popcorn. I've never been to Trader Joe's a day in my life. I went in there, I can't find the better popcorn. But everybody's out here just trying to get famous and get followers. They're going to lose 100% of the time from the people that are dumping a nice percentage of these points into the product, which should be the main thing that you're focused on, because that's what makes the money. You need to stack these points for long enough on one thing to where you can break this barrier to awesome right here. So you can break this line where average turns into undeniable. And when I realized this, I was like, well, all this stuff doesn't make sense. I was like, let me pick one and just go all in on that, because here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. So let's say that this is you and you're focused on your 6 different things. And your 6 things are going to be Instagram, you have TikTok, you're trying to do YouTube, you think that you're going to build a podcast, you're thinking about doing Google AdWords, and then let's say that you're thinking about doing some Facebook ads too. These are the 6 things that you're focused on. Well, all of these things work. Every single one of them work. You can make money with all of them, but most likely you're not going to make money with all of them. So pick which one is going to be your vehicle to dominate. Because when I say all of them work, like you could get to a point where you're making $5 million a month with all of these. Why aren't you? Because you're not good enough at any one of them yet, including myself. I haven't hit this mark yet. And I know that that sounds like such a huge number, but I'm being real right here. Like, even if I just take it to a lower, more realistic number that you may still think is a huge number, but it's very, very attainable. And I know it's attainable because I've had months where I've hit $100,000, right? 6 figures in a month. Well, if you want to build a $100,000 per month business, you don't need that many people. If you had like a solid audience base of 1,000 people, you could build a $100,000 per month business. You don't think that you could get 1,000 people on any of these platforms? Like, that is more than doable. And what people don't realize about this is that all of these different platforms, they're all like running different businesses. And when people are thinking that they're going to grow on all these platforms, they don't realize that they're basically saying that they want to run 6 different businesses, because it's 6 different platforms that you have to understand. It's 6 different algorithms that you have to understand. It's 6 different viewer and buyer psychologies that are consuming that content while they're right there that you have to understand. That's 6 different types of hooks that you have to learn in order to garner that attention. That's why nobody's getting any of this crap to work, because they're thinking that they can just, oh, well, I see all these super big creators. They're all just making one piece of content, then they're just repurposing that stuff all over the place. Well, if you're a solopreneur, why are you implementing what somebody that has a staff of 100 and is making $100 million doing? You don't even know what they're doing behind the scenes. You don't even realize that Facebook ads library is free to the public, and then you can just type in any of these creators' names in Facebook, and then you can see how many ads that they're running on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. And you think that all that content is how they're making money. No, they're building their brand and they're just retargeting an audience from that. I know a couple weeks ago, somebody came up to me and they were talking about how they were going to do what Alex Hormozy was doing. And he was like, I'm going to be all over the place and I'm going to post all this content everywhere, and I'm not going to sell anything to anybody because I'm going to do what Alex Hormozy did. And I was like, hey, you know, when he had nothing to sell to anybody, he had made $100 million. And then go look up the ads that he's running in Facebook ads library, and you'll see that there are hundreds of ads that are running right now. That man is running, if I had to guess with my background in paid ads, because the most that I've spent on ads in a single month is a little over $100,000. So I haven't spent the most, but I definitely haven't spent the least. That man's probably spending 7 figures in ads a month. And you're sitting here trying to implement what he's doing now instead of following and implementing what he did back then. And he focused in on one thing. His one thing that he focused on initially was YouTube. Then, once he had an overflow, he started to build infrastructure everywhere else for brand awareness. And not so much for sales. He wanted that brand awareness to whereas he could retarget people with ads. But his main thing, YouTube. His main thing still is YouTube. And I'm telling you, to get to a 7-figure level, you don't need to have all the things, but you do need to have something. So what is your one thing that you're going to put your focus into? If it's going to be Instagram, cool. Make it Instagram. It works. Look at the Kardashians. That whole Kardashian-Jenner crew, they don't try to work anything except for Instagram. Kylie ain't up here trying to build a YouTube channel. Their things are Instagram. And if that's going to be your thing, click off of this video and stop watching me, because I'm only going to talk about YouTube because YouTube is my thing. If it's going to be TikTok, cool, figure it out. If it's going to be a podcast, cool, figure it out. The only thing is about podcasts, they're not discoverable, right? If it's going to be ads, whether Google AdWords or Facebook ads, cool, figure it out. But the reason why I picked YouTube to be my one thing is just because it's the only platform that has true longevity, right? The work that I do today can be getting the right type of views, leads, and sales for literally years to come. Everything else, it expires very quickly. Everything on Instagram, it expires very quickly. TikTok, it expires very quickly. Podcasts, it expires quickly. And like I said, a podcast doesn't have the discoverability to it. Ads, they expire as soon as you stop paying for the ads. Same thing with Facebook ads, right? And with my background in paid advertising, I realized that with me focusing on YouTube, I don't even have the biggest YouTube channel yet, but I would have to spend around $30,000 a month at the time of me recording this video for the same amount of traffic and impressions that YouTube gives me for free. Not even for free, because I get a little bit of extra money as a plus from the AdSense from YouTube. Not a business strategy, but it's always nice to get a little bit of extra money for some stuff that you were already going to do anyways. So that's why I made YouTube my one thing, just because I weighed the pros and the cons of everything else, and YouTube just outweighed all. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure this one thing out so I can get past this threshold right here of average, because I know it takes a bare minimum of 50 points just to start to break through this threshold to get to great. But everything works, and I see this in my comments all the time. Does this work? Does that work? What do you think about this? You think if I do that it'll work? Everything will work if you take the focus to figure out how you're going to make it work for you. And people are also doing this with their products and their offers also. They're thinking that if they have all these different offers, oh, I'm going to have this offer, I'm going to have this offer, then I'm going to have that offer, then I'm having this, I'm having that. Somebody was telling me maybe about 2 or 3 days ago, they had just completed their ebook. I said, oh, great, congratulations. He was like, okay, I'm going to write another one, and then I'm going to write another one, then I'm going to write another one, then I'm going to write another one. I was like, bro, you haven't even gotten the first one out to the market yet. Like, you literally just finished it today and you're starting on your other one today. How about we sell this one and start to make some money? How about we put all of our focus into maximizing this one thing to actually make some money? You don't need another product. If anything, build a back end and a system around this one. And system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. Build a system and a back end behind this one that has multiple upsells, order bumps, down sales, and whatnot, to where you can maximize the average order value per ebook. That's how you make the money. Amateurs get paid on the front end, experts get paid on the back end. That's how I made all my money with the ebook when I was selling ebooks. It wasn't so much off of the initial sale, it was off of the other products that I had on the back end from those people that had made that purchasing decision to buy that one ebook. You don't make money online by having the most digital products. You make money by having the best one digital product and then selling more stuff to those people on the back end that already made a buying commitment to be a customer with you. They had a good experience. It's always going to be easier to sell something to somebody that has already bought something from you than to sell some new stuff to different people. And this person also told me all these different ebooks that they were thinking about, they were all about totally different topics. I was like, bro, you're never going to build a customer base and you're never going to build an audience because you're separating your traffic. But so many people are doing this, and so many people are spending these 10 points here, then 30 points here. They're never getting to this mark here, and they just stay stuck in the land of almost successful, almost building an audience, almost profitable. And almost is just another word for broke. There's a great philosopher by the name of Brandy, otherwise known as Moesha, that said, almost doesn't count, almost doesn't count. So while everyone else spreads their 100 points across 10 things, you heavily stack a bare minimum of 50 on one. And the rest of it should be on your product, because everybody else is not thinking of their offer, because you have to put energy on that also. You have to put energy and effort on making that better over time as well. You get that into the hands of people, you get feedback from those people, you refine that over time. That takes energy as well. And me personally, I highly suggest that you pick YouTube. There's a reason why this is the only type of content that I make. There's a reason why I had over 100,000 Instagram followers, left it, did YouTube. There's a reason why I had tens of thousands of TikTok followers, left it, pick YouTube. There's a reason why I used to run a lot of ads, left it, pick YouTube. There's a reason why I used to have a podcast, left it, just did YouTube. Because with just YouTube alone, you're gonna have to learn the algorithm, master packaging, master retention, build better offers behind your videos. And I know that majority of people aren't thinking about building something long-term. They're only thinking about how they can do something right now. So even though everybody thinks that it's so saturated and there's so much competition on YouTube, there actually isn't, because nobody has the focus to actually just sit there and build it. And it's the most powerful because it can feed everything else. Look, here's the thing that most people don't realize. Audience doesn't travel. So a lot of people think that they can build an audience. Let's just say that they have an Instagram audience, and they think that, oh, okay, which is what everybody does, including my former self. They'll try to tell their Instagram audience until they're blue in the face, hey, go look at my YouTube video. Hey, go look at my YouTube video. Hey, post this on the story with the link to their YouTube. Man, nobody's looking at my YouTube videos. Hey, look at my YouTube videos. You could build a TikTok audience. You could say till you're blue in the face, which people do, including my former self. Hey, go look at my YouTube videos. Go look at my YouTube videos. People, they think that they can build an audience on Twitter or X. They try to do the same thing. Hey, here's the link to my YouTube video. Hey, look at it. You notice that people don't seem to do that? Why? Because when they're on that platform, they want to be on that platform. If somebody's getting much stupid, dummy short form, dopamine high brain right now, why would they want to go and look at a long form YouTube video? They're not there for that. Just think about the creators that you follow on all these various platforms. And there's always going to be an anomaly. People, they'll give me the one or the couple examples that they have, but you probably follow different people on different mediums. You probably consume people's content on YouTube that you may not be following on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter. Why is that? Because you like what they do over here and you like what they do over there. The audience doesn't travel. And I also wouldn't recommend you talking about your YouTube channel on all these other platforms, because it confuses the YouTube algorithm and they don't know who to build your audience actually around. Like, they won't know who to suggest your videos to if you have all this external traffic. So let's say that you do get somebody to come over from TikTok and Instagram to watch one of your YouTube videos. And since they're not in the mood for that, they just click it, see what you're talking about, then they click off the video within 30 seconds. Well, YouTube says, okay, well, people don't like this video, so let me not show this to people. And then these two people over here are into two totally separate things. They have two totally different interests that when they're on YouTube, they watch different type of stuff anyways. So even if they did watch it, YouTube is going to try to suggest it to these type of people, and you're not going to get your stuff in front of the right person. Therefore, you're not going to build the right type of audience. So YouTube has it all figured out. Like, they spend billions of dollars on creating this stuff. Only share your YouTube content on YouTube. Don't share it externally. Don't tell any social media platforms about it. Don't tell your email list about it. Just post it on YouTube and let YouTube find that audience, because your audience, it already exists. The people that you can help, they're already out there. The people that are going through the problems that you have the solution for, they're already out there. All that you have to do is make the content for them, and YouTube will place it in front of them. And all that you will have to do, the main thing that you will have to learn is the packaging and positioning, which if you're spread thin all over the place trying to figure out all these platforms all at the same time, you're never going to figure out how to work the most powerful platform of them all, because it's the biggest streaming platform, period, and it's the second biggest search engine. Nothing else beats YouTube. Think about it. You have something that you want to teach. Where do people go to learn? They go to YouTube. All the people that want to grow an Instagram page, where do they go to learn about how to grow on Instagram? They don't go on Instagram for that. They come to YouTube. All the people that want to learn how to grow on TikTok, where do they go for that? They don't go to TikTok. They come to YouTube. All the people that want to learn how to run Facebook ads and Google ads, where do they go to? They go to YouTube. Anybody that wants to learn how to lose weight, where do they go? They go to YouTube. Anybody that wants to learn how to play a video game, where do they go? They go to YouTube. Anybody that wants to learn how to do anything, this is where they go. So as somebody who has offerings and digital products, informational, transformational digital products to offer to the marketplace, where would you go outside of where people are coming to learn everything about anything? And then the one platform where audience might travel is from YouTube, because people they might go from YouTube over to Instagram or over to a TikTok. So even though I haven't been on social media since 2023, around holiday season of 2023, I do check my direct messages every couple months just to see like, is any of this audience coming over from YouTube? Just about almost 100% of my messages are all from YouTube. People tell me, hey, I found you on YouTube. Hey, I love your channel. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Or hey, I was just curious on like seeing what you do over here on social media. Then they see that I haven't posted on social media since 2023. So it's either people saying that, or it's people wanting to work for me or work with me, right? But they're all coming from YouTube. The other smaller percentages of my messages are people saying, hey, where'd you go? I missed your content. Man, you disappeared. Where are you? You fell off the face of the earth. And this is somebody is when I quit Instagram, I had over 120,000 followers at the time. They think that I fell off the edge of the earth. They think that I disappeared, but I'm very active right here on YouTube. So as active as I've been since that time, they think that I've disappeared. Well, that audience doesn't travel. These are the same people that I was posting every single day. Hey, look at this video over on YouTube. Hey, listen to my podcast episode I have over on YouTube. Posting in the story with the YouTube link. Look. Well, when they're on Instagram, they want to watch Instagram. They're not going to hop over to YouTube because that's not what they have their phones in their hands for. Same thing with Twitter. Same thing with TikTok. But when you go all in on one platform for long enough, it feeds everything else automatically. And YouTube is the best example because it's evergreen. You don't chase trends, you build assets. You can literally post the right positioned video once and get paid forever. And that's what busy creators never understand, because they're thinking of being a content creator and just getting views everywhere instead of thinking like a contentpreneur. That's an entrepreneur that uses content to drive traffic to their business. They're sprinting on platforms that expire after 24 hours, where the contentpreneurs are stacking bricks that will become assets that'll pay them forever. And the contentpreneurs understand that money doesn't come from more activity. The money comes from more mastery. You don't get rich by doing more. You get rich by doing one thing so well that people can't ignore you. So pick your one thing until you hit that inevitable momentum. Pick your one thing until you hit that escape velocity. If you're not familiar, a rocket ship, right? Let's say you have this rocket ship. Well, a rocket ship uses majority of its fuel just to get to this point right here, just to get through the breakthrough point. They call it escape velocity. It's the same thing with your energy and your focus. It uses all that fuel here for the takeoff and just to get through this point here. Then after that, it's coasting. That's the same thing that you need to do here. So many people can't get through this point right here. And so much stuff gets easier once you get through this break point. So many things get easier once you get past this point and learn how to bend the algorithm in your favor. So many things get easier once you get past this point and stop chasing people and learn how to attract them. So many things get easier when you can get past this point and build a system that works for you instead of you working for the system, so you can save yourself time, energy, and money, just like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join this Credit at the Top community. For personal coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community and entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only a few bucks a day to join right now, literally less than a cup of coffee per day. So go ahead and click the link down in the description and tap in, and I'll see you on my coaching call this Wednesday. But so many things get easier once you get past this break point and you stop asking how to hit $10,000 months and start building $1 million systems. But it all starts with having focus. And remember, focus stands for follow one course until successful, and having the one priority. By definition, it's impossible to have priorities. And that's why so many people struggle, is because they think that they have priorities when a priority means one. And most people don't want to hear that because it doesn't sound sexy. It doesn't sound exciting. But I'm telling you, I don't care what anybody out here says on the internet. Becoming a successful entrepreneur, it's boring. It's boring to focus on one thing for an extended period of time. But that's what you need to do, and that takes focus. Broke creators, they chase excitement. Rich contentpreneurs, they chase excellence. And excellence is boring before it's rewarding. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Go ahead and check out this video right here for 3 tiny digital products that are guaranteed to sell. It's Credit at the Top.